this is the front of the book.
Oh, wow. Isn't that amazing?
Codice dei Privilegi is the codex of the book of the contracts with the crown of Spain, and plus the three letters that we know for sure are autographs of Columbus that survived, and that's why we are starting now from the end.
Is there a Columbus signature in there?
That's exactly what we were
That's what
talking
we're
about.
looking at.
It's right here.
Let me see if I
That-
find another
that
30
is-
for them.
It's not all in code, because they wrote in code then.
Okay, here's another one. So you can look at one signature each. We have three letters. So one each, like that. Okay. So we
Those glasses?
No, I can see this.
You are younger than
no.
No, I have an implant.
Now to understand the signature, we have to keep in mind that Columbus was born 2 years before Leonardo da Vinci and died approximately 10 years before Leonardo. The thinking is the same. In their writing, in their communication, there is lots of hidden symbols.
Leonardo did that all the time.
All the time, yeah. Now, when I worked on Leonardo at the time when we did our presentation for Nancy, in that evening we addressed also the signature of Columbus because it fits in that Leonardo culture. Now, we are going specifically into the signature. The signature has one S, S, S. Then there is an A in the middle. Then there is an X, an M, and a Y. Then there is an X. This P is actually a Greek R, XRO, with the line on top of the R. And then Ferenc, all in capital letters. Now, looking at the signature, what needs to be noticed is, you see the S have this line at the end?
Yeah.
It goes up. All these S, small s, have the same,
Yeah, there's all through here.
they have their little tail up. And we have to keep that in mind. The other thing is the two dots. The dot before the S and after the S.
Arthur.
Oh, okay.
Those are important because thanks to these details, for example, we know that while this is a drawing of Colombo, this signature that was placed here by an Italian that was writing was saying that this is the way Columbus was signing. So the guy is saying segno con il quale, the sign with which Christopher Columbus would sign his handwriting. And the Italian guy that put this down made mistakes. So you can see that, first of all, this S is missing the two dots. The A has dots, but the A doesn't. And down here, the XRO is capital letters. Everything is capital. So this, in fact, it's not a fake. It's somebody else saying this is the signature, but in copying didn't understand the real symbolism that is in the real signature. So this is, we look at this as a proof that this is a fake, right? Now we go back to our signatures. Now I was telling them that there is multiple explanation of the signature. So what I'm saying right now are hypotheses. Some of them are more plausible, some we don't know, and so we have to take this with a grain of salt. So I tell the stories and then we figure out, you choose the one you like most, basically, because we don't know. So I'm saying this little sign up the S because this sign up, in fact, transforms the letter into something else. There are symbolism within Hebrew that with that letter, with that little tail, the letter changes meaning in Hebrew. And then the SSS with this little tail could be a 5. So people that look into numbers with numerology, they would say this could be a 555. And the 555 was, at the time, was illegal because it's Arab numbers. They couldn't really use those numbers. And in writing, because the alphabet at the time for the numbers was the alphabet from Alessandrino, from Alexander of Egypt, where a letter corresponded to a number, but not the Arab number 5. So these could be 555, and then from a numerological point of view, they have numbers assigned to the different letters, and the total of these letter multiples of 5 become 1660. 1660 at the time was considered the date of the end of the world. So who takes the numerology in explaining this goes to that conclusion. Now, that's to me the less likely, but it's fine to know.
Is there.
It's fine to know. Now we go back to our letters. The SSS with the dots very likely mean Sanctissimo Spiritus, the Spiritus of the Sanctus Spiritus, the Holy Spirit, which is the dove, which is Colombo. So that could be the Trinity. Another important concept for the Trinity at the time was a very dogmatic for the Catholic Church, was an important statement that the SSS, the Trinity, the two dots indicate the fact that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit have in the middle God. God is the Holy Spirit, God is the Son, God is the Father, but the Father is not the Son. The Son is not the Holy Spirit. This was very important for the dogma at the time. The God can be all three of them, but each one of them is separated. They are absolute three, not in direct communication. One
So
is
that's
not
the
the other
period.
one. The period is this accent to this concept. Now, the A in the middle could be a triangle, like indicated the signature is a triangle. It could be the eye of God that they used at the time, the triangle, they put the eye of God. It could be the symbol of the Trinity, therefore explains the SSS of all the structure in 3, because you have 3, 1, 3, 3 becomes 6 and 9 down there. So the multiple 3 all appear there. The A is also the Altissimo, which is like God. In the sign of the cross, if you read these letters as a cross, you have the Altissimo, A, M, Mary, the Mother of Son, so Father, Son, and then Christos and Jesus. So it could be the sign of cross, and these letters, meaning in this case Altissimo. There is who reads these letters with reading from the vertically, from the S down, so 2 down, 3 down, 2 down. So different interpretation, different lecture, whether you go with the sign of the cross, or you go vertically, or you go horizontally, different meanings. That's why they all make sense, and we don't know which one was behind this.
Now the Y has a little tail also.
Bravo. That Y is, the Y with the tail, it's what brings us to Hebrew. Because reading the Y with the tail, reading from right to left,
Yahweh.
El Al, right? So you have towards God, like the airline from Tel Aviv. El Al. It becomes in Hebrew this other
And Yahweh.
Yeah.
That was the name of God, Yahweh.
Then the other people transform this into Joseph, Giuseppe Joseph, because his middle name apparently was Joseph. So that could be part of his name. That's what I'm saying. It's really too rich to districate. The other thing in this is this. Let's say XMY. It could be Christianity, Muslims, Hebrew, which were the 3 languages that the Bible at the time was written. It was known for in these 3 languages.
Doesn't Italian not have Y's and J's in their
No.
alphabet?
In our today's, Jacopo, the J,
But
Jacopo,
you
for
do have the
example,
Y
yes.
now.
The Y,
The Y
we
now.
borrow.
That's what I mean, you borrow, but originally your alphabet was 24 letters.
In our
That's why
current,
I'm just surprised to see the Y.
yeah, in our current map, again, we're talking about 1400. At the time, like for example, Columbus could write very well in Italian, Hebrew, Latin, Greek, and Castellano, and Spanish from Castilla. Then there is, so why I'm focusing on this, because he wrote to his son, and we know that for sure because we have the letter, to both his sons, he wanted them to sign, to use the top of his signature as their signature as well. And then below write their name. So for him, this stop was like a logo of the Columbus family.
Okay.
That's why this symbolism is really important. Then we go down here. Christo, X, this is in Greek, XRO. Now he specifies, for example, the A here, the M, he specifies that he wants those letters in Latin character. It's not an alpha, it's not a Greek character, it says Latin. Instead, the X is Greek. That's something he specifies. So you have Christo, XRO, with a line on top. And for example, this that we know it's fake, the line goes across the three letters. Instead, the line is only on the Greek R. So this is Christopher, Christo. Ferenc. Now Ferenc, which is Foro, Ferenc, all in capital letters, which is important as well. Capital letters and then truncated by the punto and the slash. So the understanding is that this Ferenc is a concept. It's capitalized to, for example, like Fiat. We know Fiat as being the car manufacturer in Italy, but Fiat is what? Fiat Voluntas Tes means something, right? And the Ferenc, we're trying to figure out what it does it mean. Is Cristoforo Colombo the carrier of the message of Jesus, or the one that carries the weight of the body of Jesus, or considering the contrast, everything is being written in these things, and the communication with the bank, there's another possibility. That means I'm carrying these goods, and therefore the 10% for the Bank of St. Giorgio, I'm the carrier of this good for Jesus, which means I want you, bank, to lower the taxes on wine and on corn, and or like in the document it says to the Queen of Castilla, I want you to all these goods that are coming from this new world to be invested for the liberation of Jerusalem. So there is all this concepts together, then we put together with things we're saying in January, it completes our picture. Now I stop because I don't want to bore you about this.
No, no.